All right, stepping in early to intervene on children with developmental delays.
Jennifer Kelsey, the executive director of DDI Vantage, is joining us in the sponsored interview to share how they are helping kids reach their full potential. And you say early intervention is key between the ages of 0 to 3. Why?
Yes, well, as we know, I've learned from science that the children's brains are the most malleable in the first 3 years of life. And by the time they're 3 years old, they have the size of an adult brain already. And so those first years are very important.
So the earlier we catch that, then we can minimize the effects of the delay. What is it that parents should be looking for and thinking, maybe my kid should be seen?
Well, there are lots of different ways that you could refer to the program, and I always think that it's important to go with your gut. If you are watching your child around other children and they maybe aren't doing the same types of things, or if your pediatrician would like you to call us, our favorite thing to do is to tell you that you don't qualify for our program. But we would rather have the opportunity to test you and look.
When you are a new mom, it is so easy to say, my child didn't reach this marker, they didn't do this. When is it, when you're deciding to panic or to actually have some intervention at this point? Say, child isn't sitting up at 9 months yet.
Right.
What do you do?
So we would like you to make a referral to our program. We don't want anyone to panic, but the earlier that we can get in there, the better.
Yeah, and you observe the child in a space that they're familiar with, so you can see what they do over the course of a day.
Yes, it's nice. We come to the family, we go to their natural environment, which usually is the home. But if it's a daycare or grandma's house, we're able to go into that environment too.
And you say with these tactile activities, and say they come to the office, you can really tell where maybe they need some help.
Yes, we have a multidisciplinary team that will test, but we are trying always to just use what the family has within the home. Activities such as bubbles.
Bubbles can tell so much. Tell us what.
They can. So when you're blowing bubbles, you're tracking with your vision. If the child's able to blow, they're using their oral motor.
Their lungs.
Yep, definitely inside. And if they want to run around and touch the bubbles, that's hand-eye coordination. There are just many things that you can do with just that simple activity.
That is so fascinating. And this is a free evaluation, we should mention. So what happens if a child does have a diagnosis? What's next?
Well, if they have a diagnosis, they may automatically qualify for our program. But if not, we have that multidisciplinary team that will come in and do an evaluation and let you know whether or not your child would qualify for the program.
I'm sure each case is different, but what have you seen in the success rate and those who may not get the help they need? What happens?
Do you know what? Nothing's more frustrating for us than to get a call from somebody right as they're turning like 3, and they didn't know about our program. So we want to see them early, and we have a whole variety. We have speech delays, which are things that can remedy quite quickly, and then we have children who have delays that may be lifetime, and we're just trying to help them do the best that they can.
It really runs the whole array of how you can get in and help specific children with those specific delays. So if you have a question at all, I mean, don't hesitate.
No,
call
please.
right now. Okay, where do we learn more?
So you can go to www.ddivantage.org, or you can call 801-266-3979.
All that information on your screen right now. We'll put a link on ours, and I think you probably are talking to a lot of parents who are now rushing to call to make sure their child is doing okay. All right, thanks to DDI Vantage for this sponsored interview. GTU is back with more after this short break. Don't go anywhere.